Today in this video, we're going to talk about financial empowerment for those who are stay at home. If your partner earns and you don't, and you have really uncomfortable feelings asking for money, we're going to talk exactly about how to feel empowered, how to get that money, and you can both be empowered in that relationship. So let's do this. Hi, my name is Fazia, and we teach personal safety and empowerment. So if you're new to this channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe and join the family. So let's get right into this topic today. Okay, so who is this video for and who is it not for? Let's talk about that a little bit. If you're a person who stays at home, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, you're married to someone, you don't work, but your husband works. Or it could be something slightly different, or any kind of relationship where you're both equal partners, you can both work, you're of working age, but one person chooses not to, either because they're in school, or because they're raising kids, or for whatever reason, and the other person earns. And now the person who doesn't make money or is not supporting the household feels really uncomfortable having money conversations and saying, okay, I need some money for myself to do certain things, and I don't know how to ask for it. Okay, so let's take a look at this example scenario. So let's say I'm a wife, I have a husband, we live together, and I'm a stay-at-home wife, right? And my husband works, he has a full-time job. Now, we have a shared joint account, potentially a shared credit card, or 2 credit cards that we use. So now, he works and he has a credit card, and I don't work, I have a credit card. We can both spend on our credit card. Now he has some fun expenses. He's big into video games, so he loves to spend about maybe $100 either playing board games or getting video games every month. And maybe you're a person who loves to go shopping, and so you get makeup or other fun items, eat out, get coffee or whatever other things. So this situation actually has happened amongst people I know, my students, where the wife, she spent money on her credit card and gets a call from her husband saying, hey, just confirming that you spent this money because I got a notification on my phone. Many of us set up text alerts. So now she feels really disempowered because he gets text alerts for his own spending and nobody gets to ask him, hey, I got an alert. But when she spends that money, she gets a call confirming that, hey, just to make sure. So it disempowers her because now she feels like she has to explain why she spent it, where she spent it. And they got into a little bit of a fight. And he said, no, you're welcome to spend it however, whenever. I just wanted to make sure that you actually went to this place and bought something for this amount. So yes, you can understand from the husband's perspective why he did that. But at the same time, you can totally understand from the wife's perspective why she feels like she really has no control and power over the situation. And looking at the video game scenario, it's like, hey, this person, my husband, my partner, gets to spend money wherever he wants to, right? He doesn't really have to or need to ask. But I feel like I need to ask because it's not really my money. So I have to ask, can I get this? Can I buy this? Can I do this? And so now it creates another layer of disempowerment. Of course, in an ideal situation, both people ask each other and have conversations and communication. But typically, this is an example of a scenario where you can feel disempowered. Okay, so here are the 3 steps you can take to feel empowered in your financial space. The first one is to understand that you are wealthy. Now, I understand that this may not apply to everybody, especially if you're struggling to make ends meet financially. Now, if that's not the case, then do know that you and your partner together as a team, you're pretty solid and you're pretty wealthy. Once we understand that and have that conversation, we're not going to say things like, I can't afford this, I'm not able to do this, because guess what? As a team, yes, you can. You can't afford it, you can't do it, you can spend the money, you do have the wealth. So reframe that conversation. That's the first step. Okay, the second step we can do is have a conversation with our wealth, with our money. So this is by Ken Honda, and he has a really great exercise on this. What I want you to do is bring a bill, a $100 bill, $50 bill, $20 bill. Okay, so there's 2 parts to this exercise, and you can pause this video at any time. The first is I want you to just take a couple deep breaths, shake it out, and just imagine you're out with your money, having coffee with your money. What would it say? What's your relationship like? Is it tense? Is your money really angry? Is she or he really upset that you've been ignoring him? What is that conversation like? What's the feelings like? Now that you understand what has been happening, what relationship do you want? Do you want to be best friends? Do you want to have a loving relationship? It's giving and taking and it's caring and it's awesome. Now you're going to get that bill that you have after you have that conversation. And you're going to look at it. Look at that bill and just have that conversation with it. Say, I'm really sorry. I didn't really care for you and love you. Have that conversation, whatever that might be, and clear up some of that emotion, negative energy we have around our financial wealth. And the final step is to ask. If you haven't seen our assumption video, I highly recommend watching that right after this video. It's really going to help. So you're just going to go to your partner and you're going to ask. Now, there are many different ways of asking. We'll go into that. And you're going to psych yourself up for this conversation. So before you ask, you can have that conversation with yourself and say, okay, I can do this. Yeah, I know it's a little scary, but I can absolutely ask. He loves me. He cares about me. He's going to listen. Yeah, we might have some discussion, but I'm not going to let that disempower me. So have that little match of, I can do this. Yeah, it's a little scary, but I can do this and I'm going to get results. Oh, I feel really, I don't know if something happens. Oh, but that's okay. I can overcome, right? Have that conversation with yourself in front of a mirror or just however you want to do it, but out loud if you can, and say, this conversation is going to go well. It's going to go great. Here's what I'm going to say. And that's how you're going to set yourself up for asking the question. Okay, so now there's several different ways of asking. The first way is to ask as though you want a salary. Now, I actually personally did this. So when I was at a point in time when my business kind of, because of COVID, shut down, I wasn't making anything for a little bit, I used that to have a conversation. I say, hey, I am going to cook all the meals and I'm going to do all the cleaning around the house and I want about $300 of salary. I did that math in my head. And so I said, how would you like that? So that's one way of asking. Another way of asking is from a personal development perspective. So you can say, hey, I found this awesome course by Defense Ninjas and Fozia, and I really want to do this for my personal development, for my physical health, my mental health. This is really important and I need certain pocket money so I can use it for some very high priority things that I need for my life to function and thrive. That's another approach you can take. And finally, of course, you can just ask for fun money. You can say, hey, I noticed that we usually spend about $200 or $300 whatever dollars for fun money. Yeah, usually this is X amount goes for your video games. And so I would like to have some fun money too. That's another way you can approach this conversation. Just want some fun money for yourself, for your health, your happiness. Okay, so now you can actually get some questions back from your partner. And I'm going to go over some common questions and how you can answer them so you don't let those questions disempower you and make you think, oh, he's asking questions. He clearly doesn't want to do this. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh, I ruined this relationship. We don't want to spiral down that road. So I'm going to give you some questions so you're ready to answer them. So let's get right into it. The first question is, oh, I don't really feel comfortable. And you might even get kind of a strange expression or emotion. Now, immediately, don't get into silence mode. Ask, hey, why are you not comfortable? And this happened, the scenario that I mentioned when I said, hey, salary, that's an awesome idea. And he said, I don't know, I'm not really comfortable. I said, what's not comfortable? Because when you say that, give me more, because that just disempowers me. It makes me feel like I'm not loved or cared for. And right? So I was in conversation the whole time. I didn't let negative thoughts take me over. And so he said, yeah, I absolutely want to give you money. At the same time, I don't want to think of it like salary. I just want to do this because I love you and I care for you. So can we not think about it as salary? So great. Okay. So when that question comes up that I'm not comfortable, get clarification so that you can meet on the same page. Okay, another question you can get is, well, why don't we share an account? Such a common question. This is probably the most likely question that you're going to get asked, that, hey, we have a joint account. Why don't we just share the joint account? You have a credit card. You can spend whatever you want on it. And here's how you answer it. Just kind of be honest. Say, hey, it still doesn't make me feel empowered. You're the primary holder. I'm the secondary holder. You have more access to information. You can set up alerts and all these things. And I don't really get to do that and monitor it. So I feel secondary in this whole process. But I have my own personal account. If money's just sent into it, I'm not constantly being monitored. I'm not being asked. So I feel freedom and that just empowers me. So that's how you can answer that question. Okay, the final question could just no. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay, now this is the hard one. I know that's the first one you were thinking, what if he just says no? It's actually very rare for this to happen. This is the least possible scenario. But let's talk about it. Now, when this person says no and you're having some conversation why, and you realize you're not making progress, there's some, I don't know your personal situation, but there's some evaluation here for you to do. What kind of a relationship are you in? Is this a very disempowering relationship in general? Is this a controlling partner? That's something to think about and evaluate because, once again, I don't know your situation. Or you could think about a compromise. Say, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't want to be a stay-at-home. Maybe I do want to pursue a career or get a job, and have the conversation. Hey, if I do this, then these other things may not happen. If you're just a standard example, stay-at-home mom, maybe you need somebody else to help with the care and cooking and cleaning, etc., or whatever your scenario is. So have that conversation. Hey, maybe I'll go get a job, and then these things somebody else will have to take care of. How does that sound? So now you can become financially independent. Okay, and the final tip I want to leave you with before you go is that do not get disempowered in this conversation. So if you get weird reactions or emotions, first of all, they're not going to be that weird, but they might be inquisitive. It might be, yeah, those reactions. Don't let it mean something about you. It just means, hey, look at this, Amanda. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting conversation, right? Think about this situation. Your son comes up to you and says, hey, I want 2 oranges fresh every single day. Isn't that going to be a reaction? It's doesn't mean you're not going to give him that. It's just, oh, so why? Oh, actually, because I want to have a glass of orange juice every day and it must be fresh. So I must go to the farmer's market every day and get it. And that's going to help this specific allergy that I have because I read about it. Okay, now it makes sense. So when you get that weird reaction, that kind of a face, whatever face, think oranges. That's what you're going to think, oranges. You're just going to say, okay, why are you making that face? It's making me disempowered. Say something. That's my tip for you. Don't get caught up in the swirl of negative emotions and have fun with this and let me know how it went. Bye. Thank you for watching this video. What did you learn from it today? I would love to hear your thoughts, so come chat with me in the comment section below. Are you looking to take your safety and empowerment to the next level? If so, I invite you to watch our free masterclass on street violence, relationship threats, and aggressive coworker behavior. Links in the description.